Plaintiff Rachel Thompson met the defendant at work, and they became good friends. Rachel claims 2 weeks after she met her boyfriend, they decided to get married, and she asked the defendant to hold her wedding dress at her house. However, the defendant went out of town and never returned her dress, so she's suing. Defendant Sarah Zichtema says prior to Rachel asking her to keep the wedding dress at her house, the two of them lost touch for 5 months. Sarah insists she tried to contact Rachel before the wedding to return the dress, but then she sprained her ankle, was highly medicated, and forgot.
Tell me what happened.
Well, a bit of background. I met the defendant a couple of years ago and we became friends, and I thought she was a really nice person, very kind and a good friend. Then in the end of January of this year, I met my then fiance, then to be boyfriend, Jerry, and within a couple of weeks we decided that we really did want to get married.
Within a couple of weeks of meeting?
Yes. 2 weeks after we met, he moved in. Mm-hmm. We moved in together.
Everything working out?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yep,
good.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to see him on that side anytime soon.
No.
All right. 2
Take
weeks.
a good look at him. That's the last time you're going to see him.
That's pretty quick, 2 weeks. Go ahead.
Yeah. 2 weeks later, we were at the courthouse getting the marriage license. Mm-hmm. So,
where do you know the defendant from?
We met at work 2 years ago.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what was your association at work like?
Good.
Okay.
We were good friends. I thought she was a really nice person. Mm. She was actually the first person that I met, and I just moved to Iowa, just arrived 2 or 3 days beforehand, before the first day of work, and feeling a little really out of place. And I remember Sarah came up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Sarah," shook my hand, and we kind of hit it off. A week before the wedding, I called Sarah and said, "Sarah, I'm getting married. Will you come with me and help me choose my dress?" We'd gone shopping before for her and, together. So I knew it would be fun. So Sarah came, that was the Saturday, and Sarah came and we went to the stores, and it was an emotional roller coaster because, it's like, we're going to find the dress, can't find the right dress. Oh no, I look awful. I look fat, I look thin, I look this, sleeves, no sleeves, short, long, short, no long. I mean, it was awful.
It was an awful experience.
Well, it was wonderful and awful because there comes a point.
See what happens when you have 2 weeks, even looking for the dress is awful. This is his first time hearing that it was awful?
No, I think
it should have been one of the most pleasant experiences of your life.
It's high stress. The stakes are high. So
what are the stakes involved?
The perfect dress for your wonderful day, where you have to look the most beautiful you've ever looked.
Okay.
She's been dreaming about this day for 2 weeks.
That's true. All right, yeah, I see now. All right.
There you go.
Go ahead.
I'd invested a lot of time in this.
2 weeks, gotcha.
Yeah. So eventually did find the perfect dress, which I have pictures here. I've got pictures with our children and our pastor, and then a couple more with some friends where you can actually see the dress in a little more detail.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. That's a nice picture. All right. You all were looking for dresses.
And we found
one.
It was the dress. Mm-hmm. It was that moment. We both had
try
that.
it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we both had that moment. Mm-hmm. The girl that was helping us in the shop, she knew it was that moment. So happy, great, relieved, wonderful. Sarah came back to my house with me. Jerry was there, and I'm a little bit of an excitable person. So we kind of decided that I would probably end up showing Jerry the dress. Not that he would look, I'd end up showing him. Mm-hmm. So Sarah and I kind of decided she would take the dress home with her, and then she would keep the dress until the morning of the wedding, come back, help me dress. Great. Okay, so we're all good at that point. That's fantastic. Then the following Wednesday, which is the Wednesday before the wedding, I get a very strange text from Sarah saying, I forgot we were going to a convention this weekend. Don't hate me. And could you push the wedding forward?
Change your date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought she was joking.
She asked you to change your date because she had to go out of town.
I'm assuming since that fact was in the text, I'm assuming that she joined those.
She had told me already that that they'd already pushed the date back twice. In fact, I mean, she joked about it.
So you were asking her to do it a third time?
Right. I mean, she and Jerry had chosen to push back the date.
That's
right. But I mean, it wasn't like it was, your big wedding kind of a thing. They were standing up during their Sunday service and
you don't think it was a big deal to them?
I'm just saying it's not like she hadn't already done it. And I was just asking, I was like, I really want to be there. I care about you. I want to be at your wedding. Please don't be mad at me that I'd forgotten that I was going out of town, because I was surprised here. I mean, just for a little background, leading up to this, I'd not talked to her for 5 months. She fell off the face of the planet. She stopped coming into work. She stopped answering my calls, and she stopped returning my emails.
What do you think happened?
I think she got very stressed out at work, and when she didn't respond to my efforts to contact her, I assumed that because of the stress at work, she didn't want to talk to me because she associated me with that. So I tried to respect that and give her space.
How long prior to the wedding did she reconnect with you?
The week before.
All right. Did you ask her what had happened those months prior?
She told me that that due to the stress that she was feeling, she didn't feel up to checking her voicemail or checking her email or answering her phone.
Okay,
and so the only way to get in contact with her was to text her.
All right. And so then she proceeded to ask you to be in her wedding.
Right. And so, I mean, I'm blown away. I'm like, I haven't talked to this friend in 5 months. I'm really glad that she's getting in contact with me.
So let's get to the cancellation or the postponement.
Right. So, so I said, of course I'll be there. Completely forgetting this, trip that I had planned. I mean, things slip your mind when you're blindsided by something and you're excited about it. So I sent her a text, and I do have the transcript of the text messages that went back and forth.
I want to hear about you telling this woman or asking her to change her wedding day because you have to go out of town. That's what I want to hear. Did that happen?
It did.
You think it's reasonable for someone to push their wedding date back for you?
If she wanted me to be there, that's fine. But I wasn't that I wasn't willing to.
If you wanted to be there, you come. And if you didn't want to be there, you would say, I just can't be there. Period. And you say, I'm going to try and push whatever I have to do back. It just sounds pretty presumptuous. You wanted to say something, sir. State your name.
My name is Jerry Thompson.
What do you want to tell me?
My husband. Well, she did send a text message, and the text message was really jumbled. And when we got the text message, we thought she was joking. But Rachel responded back to her immediately and said, she said, that's a funny joke, but we need our dress.
Okay, that's the part I'm missing. Tell me about the dress and how she's responsible for the alterations.
I tried to call her straight back after she sent me that bizarre text.
Saying that she was going out of town.
Yeah.
You had left your address with her?
Yes.
To keep until the wedding date. And how long, what date approximately was it that you left your dress with her?
That would have been the 13th.
When was your wedding date?
21st. The following Sunday.
All right. Go ahead.
Didn't think too much of it. Had a lot to do in that week, obviously. And then I think it was the following, a day or two later, I started really calling her.
And obviously you never received it?
Until the following Wednesday.
Okay. So you're suing her for a replacement dress, or you say alteration. So if you didn't have your dress, how are you suing her for alteration?
I had to have another dress.
You had to buy another dress?
Yes.
And then pay for the alteration?
Yes.
So why aren't you suing her for the entire dress?
Because I returned the original dress when she
to
gave
the store.
it me.
Right. All right. And ma'am, you tell me.
On the 17th was when I sent her the text message, first thing in the morning. My husband pointed out, that trip's this weekend. And oh my God, it completely slipped my mind. She didn't contact me in any way, shape, or form until the 19th at 6:39 p.m. And all she said was, I need my dress, which is understandable. She didn't get back to me. So my plan was to take her the dress before I went out of town. I took it to work with me on the 17th so I could take it back to her after work. But that night, I fell off of the treadmill and sprained my ankle very badly and had to go to the emergency room. So by the time I, got out of
What
there.
What night did you sprain your ankle?
That was on the 17th.
Okay.
So on the 17th, I sprained my ankle, got taken to the emergency room. My car got left at work. And, by the time I got out of there, between the pain and the medicine.
When did you go out of town? Before or after you sprained your ankle?
After.
What date?
The 18th.
Okay, so you were able to go out of town, but you couldn't return her dress because of a sprained ankle.
Like I said, between the pain and the medicines they put me on, I wasn't in a state of mind.
But you were able to go out of town. You were in a state of mind to do that.
Well, my husband helped me with that.
Well, whatever. He could have helped you with that dress, too.
It wasn't, he was worried about me, and he was worried about this trip that he'd been looking forward to.
Okay.
He wasn't thinking about the dress.
You couldn't mention to him, I have my friend's dress. Can you, baby, please take it over? You still can't get him to do what you need him to do.
But he had work that day
All
as
right,
well.
you got to work a little harder, ma'am. If you can't get your husband to give you a ride around the corner, you're not doing something right. Something not going right there.
No.
You want to give us some tips? She worked it out in 2 weeks. I believe she can give you some tips on how to get a man to get to an altar in 2 weeks. You're good. I've heard enough, ma'am. You have your receipt. And the emotional distress is for...
she put me through...
all right, but you received a dress. I'll grant you your judgment for $159, ma'am. Your excuse that you were too sick to let her know that you couldn't return the dress is unacceptable. You tell her on the day of that, hey, I'm back in town, meaning that you left town and kept her dress while out of town. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I'm really sorry for the stress I put you through. It was never my intention.
Don't want to hear it.
Words can't really say what Sarah put me through. We're not going to be friends from now on. It's just, I can't do that with her.
And she lied about her ankle being sprained. She said her ankle was broken, and when she came outside, she had an ace bandage on it instead of a cast. And she sounded like that little midget on the Martin Lawrence show.
Yeah, and you left me standing in a parking lot by
but you had
myself
your keys.
on crutches.
You
I
had
couldn't
your
drive.
keys. Stop.